Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about Nari Juku, and Nari Juku is in Nagano, Japan. And according to our itinerary, we should be going there towards the beginning of our trip. So let's get into it. So first, I just want to put up here some pictures of the Four Seasons in Nari Juku. It was something that I didn't really see beforehand until I looked up all the pictures and just saw the vast array of what it could look like in different seasons. So top left is the springtime, top right is the summertime, and you can see they look pretty similar, but I think the greenery really comes through in the summer, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then the bottom left is the fall, and personally, I didn't know that there was that much change in the foliage there, so it was really cool to see all the colors. And then bottom right is the wintertime, and of course, with the snow, it's just gorgeous there. Okay, so about this trip, Narijuku is about an hour drive from our hotel that we will be staying in Nagano. Um, And if someone's coming from Tokyo, it's about a 3 hour train ride. And usually, coming from Tokyo, someone would take the Chu line mainly. All right, so a little bit of background on Narijuku. Narijuku was the halfway point between Kyoto, which was the ancient capital, and Edo, which was the shogunate stronghold. So Narijuku was a post town on the Nakasendo Trail. It was often referred to as the Nari of 1,000 houses. It was referred to as this because it was a very wealthy area that was lined with houses of the rich. But over time, with the introduction of new technology and railroad systems, many post towns were abandoned on a lot of these trails. But Narijuku is unique in the fact that it is very well preserved and it holds a piece of Japanese history that many other post towns don't have because they were replaced by modern infrastructure. Okay, so a little bit of history on Narijuku during the Edo period. It was a very famous post town, like I said, on the Nakasendo Trail. And this trail became very popular amongst travelers as an alternate route to the Tokaido Trail. So, although the Nakasendo Trail was 27 kilometers longer than the Tokaido Trail, and it was also less developed and more mountainous, it was the preferred trail for a lot of this time. And this was because it had a lower cost, it avoided flooding, and it had less foot traffic than the Tokaido Trail. So the middle part of Narijuku in this post town was where the feudal lord and his subordinates would stay while visiting. And like I had said before, this post town is very well preserved, and there are many family-owned businesses that are still up and running. And there are many artifacts that can be found in these ancient buildings as well, which I'll get into in the next slide. So luckily for us, Narijuku has not been replaced by modern infrastructure like many other old post towns in Japan. So it really gives a glimpse into Japanese history during the Edo period. All right, so these are a few of the places that I found many people recommend to visit in Narijuku and really keep an eye out for. And I do want to mention that there was one blog from a Japanese based blogger, and he had all of these highlighted in there. Many other people did as well. But something he had written that I thought was super important for us to keep in mind, he recommends ditching the sightseeing mindset and just enjoying a long walk down this historic post town. And I think that's really cool to keep in mind so we can really take in everything that we're seeing. But with that being said, the first place that everyone recommends to visit is the Nakamura residence. So this is one of the most well-preserved residences in Narijuku, and it has artifacts from the Nakamura family. And then the second place is the Kamidonia Shryokin, and it was once home to a wholesaler, but it has since been turned into an exhibit that displays how the Japanese lived. So there are a ton of artifacts in there that we can look at. So that's really cool. And thirdly, something that we should be on the lookout for is the Narijuku notice boards. This was one of the coolest things that I had found there when I was looking this up. Of course, the boards are weathered because they're exposed, but many people say that you can still see decrees and mandates on these boards. And these boards were used to notify the townspeople of the decrees and mandates put into effect by the shogunate. So it's really cool that you can still make out some of them. So hopefully we can get a glimpse at some of those. And lastly is the Kiso Bridge. And although this bridge is not necessarily a historical structure since it was built in the 1990s, many people say that it is super gorgeous and just adds to the beautiful landscape there. And it's definitely worth seeing. The Kiso Bridge crosses over the Nari River, and it is actually one of the longest wooden bridges in all of Japan. So people say that this bridge is really worth seeing. All right, thank you so much, and let me know if you guys have any questions.